Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. The trusses are complete. Now let's go and install them. This is the last one I made last night, and this is the very outer truss. This one will go in last, so may as well just leave it there. The first one to go in is this one back here. I'm not going to bring all these up there. I'm just going to move these out of the way, grab the truss I need. Then I think I'll do the drilling down here. I have to drill for the mounting bolt through here, and that's 57 inches down from the top and a 16-degree angle. I got that on the drawings, well, different drawings than this. First, I need to get over there and take my belt sander and get any protrusions above the top plate sanded flush. Then I need to lay out where all the rafters go. So let me get that done first. Oh, and I have to figure out where the peak is going to end up and a couple other minor things, but it's probably going to take an hour or so. So I'm going to go get that done, and then I'm going to bring the gator down here, load it up, and I'll get back with you then. Okay, I sanded down any irregularities at the top, got everything laid out up there. I put a center line in on the wall. I'll show you that in just a second. And I have my first truss in place, ready to go. I'm going to need to get the screwdriver and stuff out there, but let me show you what's going on first. It is incredibly windy today, and then every once in a while it'll die down like this, but yeah, here it comes. It's going to get really windy again. All right, here is the issue. I have an 8-foot ladder. That's all I have is 8-foot ladders and taller. And I have 7-foot walls. Whoa. Yeah, it's really gusty. Hopefully I'm able to film this without too much problems. So what I'm thinking is to bring it in sideways, turn it the correct way on this side of the ladder, walk up the ladder, stand it up, and then lift it over the ladder. We'll try it on this one, well, the next one as well, and if that's working, that's the way we're going to go. I have 2 ladders for all of the rest of them, because as soon as I get it stood up, I'm going to need to get one end fastened right away. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work yet. I might make a spacer for between the 2 trusses. I don't know. We'll have to see as we go, but the first one is just going right up against the wall, so let's get that one in. All right, 1 down, 6 to go. I have it screwed into the studs in the wall kind of lightly. Those are only 2 3/4 inch screws because I don't want to hit any electrical up in there. I'm going to be throwing 3 legs into there at some point, but I'm going to go over the drawings and make sure exactly where my electrical stuff is in there. And then I'll throw some nice legs in there. I don't really think it even needs it, but I'm going to do it anyways. Yeah, this fits beautiful. I put this center line in before I installed this. I showed you that. And I was hoping that if it's off, that it was off less than 1/8. But it is dead on. It's as good as it's going to get. Okay, so now I'm going to go get 2 more trusses. Those are the intermediate trusses. We got 2 of those, and then we have that truss that has the bolts through it. So these next trusses, they're much lighter, and they should be easier to get on, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do it basically the same way, and like I said, have a ladder and some screws sitting on one side so I can screw it in. Hopefully we don't have wind that's going to knock them over before I can get them screwed in place. Once I have the really big screws, the 8-inch legs that go from the top all the way down into the plate, these right here, once these are in place, they're not going anywhere. But it's going to be a little hairy while I'm getting them in, especially with this wind. Hopefully I can do it in between wind events. Okay, let's go get those trusses. Okay, we're on to the intermediate trusses. Move this out a bit. Hopefully these go in real easy and I don't have to make any jigs or anything. That'll just burn up time. Okay. I'll get this ladder staged over here somehow and get my driver and screws ready. And the next truss will go in place, and depending on how this one goes, I'll have an idea on how to do all the rest of them except for this very last one. That one will be its own challenge. So now I can't rest the ladder up against the wall because that'll spread the wall out a little bit. I'll figure it out. Okay, I'm just going to leave the ladder right there. Got my driver right there, got screws in my pocket. Let's put another one in. All right, 3 of them up. Yeah, they're real easy to put up. The only problem I had was when I put this one up, the wind picked up and it tipped. It actually tipped towards me and I caught it. But on the next ones, I'm just gonna get it up there and lean it against the previous one. All right, I'm gonna go get 3 more trusses. At some point, I'm not gonna have the room to tip them up. You can't tip them up towards the other trusses, and this will get in the way at some point. Hopefully, I can get at least 2 more in here. Then I'll have to take them in from over the top of the wall, and it's real shaky out there, so the last ones are not going to be as easy, and it's going to be much harder to film them. Well, maybe. Yeah, we're kind of out of the wind here. The way the wind is going, sometimes it comes in here and swirls around, so we'll have to watch out for that. All right, 3 more trusses, and we are up to the middle one. Okay, I'm on the last 2, and I'm trying out a different way to get them in here so that I can do all of my work from in here, and I think I got it figured out. I just brought it in on edge like this and put one end up over the top. Now I'm just going to go up the ladder, grab that, and walk the other end up and then pull it into place. Yeah, I should have plenty of room in between these. They're 2 foot on center. It's only 21 inches at this end, and we have that in the way too. But if I have my ladder right towards the opening, shouldn't be too bad. Screwing that last one down may be the biggest problem, but we'll see. The wind is actually the biggest problem, so if the wind doesn't pop up, I think we're going to be all right. All right, let's get this one in, and hopefully we'll get that last one in without any problems. Okay, I got the last one in place, and it wasn't quite as hard as I thought it was going to be. Hard enough, but not quite as hard as I was imagining in my head. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks pretty darn good on the outside. At least that side does. That side, I don't know. Well, yeah, it's probably pretty good there too as well. We got a little bit of overhang of the OSB. I'm going to grind that off. I probably don't even need to. We'll see. I'm going to go on the outside now and adjust that if needed and make sure I got like 3 screws in there. Then I'll put my big GRK screws in there and she'll be done for now. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do next, if I'm going to skin this back, which I really should do, or I need to trim all of the inside, the tails on all of the rafters. The end two are cut to length. These are all long. So what I got to do is snap a line from the very top all the way over to the very top and snap a line on all of these, and then get a plumb line on each of them and cut them all off. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that done tonight. I'm going to need somebody else to hold the chalk line right on that corner while I pull it out here. I need a good snap on this, so probably not going to be able to do that tonight. But let me get out here and make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be. I'm going to check the plumb right away. I'm going to check with my big plate to plate level, check from here all the way up to the point and see if that's plumb. And then I can adjust it as need be. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do now. I might put that back skin on, at least the upper part. We're going to put a skin going across this upper area from the middle of the gusset there, or the gusset filler, middle of the gusset filler, and it'll come to right about here. That's going to add enormous strength to this. Oh, I know what I need to do. I got to get the king studs in here and the fillers. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing next as soon as I get finished getting this truss in exactly its right place. Okay, I have my end truss fastened down nice and tight, and I ground down both the corners. There's like 7 things that come together in those corners, and I want it nice and flush. Now it comes to the king studs here. I changed that around a little bit. I'm going to put a top plate in that, so I have a lot more to screw to up into the collar tie. So we had exactly the same dimension on both sides, which is real good news. So this is what I'm going to be building, and then once I get that installed, I'll come back and measure for the cripples, get the cripples in, and that's probably all I'm going to be able to do tonight. Let me see what time it is. I started at 9. Come on. 2:30. Yeah, that is definitely all I'm going to be able to do today. All right, let's go get that started. I've tried to do an outro like 5 times now, and this cat just keeps interrupting really loud. Hopefully she'll quiet up now. Okay, we have all of the trusses in and the framing for the back opening. I call it the back opening because this is going to go into another addition next year, but for this winter I'm going to put that door in this opening. Next year I'll take the door out and I'm going to put a round top in here, and it's going to be pretty cool. You'll see what I mean next year. But for now, everything went really well. Everything fit perfectly, and no big drama or anything. Didn't drop a truss or anything like that. So all is well. Tomorrow I got to get the rafter tails trimmed and start getting the roof on, and I need to get this back part sheathed. I may have to pull it one way or the other to square it up or to plumb it up, but that's to be expected. And I may need to adjust, well, I will need to adjust the tops of these trusses to get them to the right spacing. They're at the correct spacing at the bottom, but as far as the top goes, they could be anywhere. I could do that with the panels, just put the marks on the panels. The panels are going to slide up, and the panels go way up to there, a single panel. This is only about 6 feet long, so a panel's 4 feet long, so skinning the roof should go pretty darn quick. So the forecast is still the same. It's calling for 2 more days of sunshine and then 3 days of rain. It looks like I'm going to at least be able to get the skin on the roof and the end. So if I do that, which is almost a positive, I could just tape the seams and it's not going to get wet in here. But I'm hoping to get the roof on, the back skin, and then get the water and ice on there, which is a self-stick membrane. You'll see that in hopefully 2 days. So there's a lot going on here in the next couple days. If you want to see me beat the rain, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comments section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.